Start recording. All right, there we go. All right.
All right.
Here we go.
I like this old format of the podcast we were doing.
What old format?
I mean, we're all in person right now versus.
Oh yeah, versus over the internet. I
Yeah.
prefer in person communication. I fucking hate the internet shit and talking through text.
I look at Discord a lot, guys. All the time.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
sure.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You're like the least active member.
I was about to be surprised as fuck. No, man, but today on the Green Room, we talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of Japanese.
Japanese.
That almost sounds racist. I'm gonna leave it in now. That's not what the fuck I meant. I just rhymed a random word with happiness, and it did not turn out in my fucking favor. But let's talk about this fucking this black, brown, blue thing that's going on. Oh wait, first I want to mention: have you guys heard of the fucking autonomous zone in Seattle?
Yes, I have.
I haven't.
It's apparently a little zone they have in Seattle where the cops basically protesters or whatever took like like a couple of blocks in the Seattle area, and basically they put barriers up and the cops are not allowed to enter, and so the cops aren't going in because obviously there's probably going to be a very bad.
They're respecting the.
Yeah, because they don't want to go into the zone and cause violence and whatnot. They don't. No, obviously that's a fucking really bad optic because nobody seems to be in the in the fucking what did I just call it? The autonomous zone. I think they got a name for it now. I think it's Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, and then now they're changing it to CHOP, I believe. Capitol Hill. Occupy protests, I believe. Some shit like that.
That makes sense for the cops to stay out, though. I mean, as long as you're not doing anything wrong, as long as you're not killing people in there and doing
not doing.
I guess it makes sense for them not to bug. Bug is, I mean, you're not keeping business owners out of business. I hope, like.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not sure. From what I've seen, the videos of it. This motherfuckers walking around, walking their dogs and shit in it.
Yeah,
there are a couple of people on the borders of the zone with guns and whatnot to keep the cops out, or they're to defend the zone, air quotes. Yeah. But I don't know how I feel about that part. With the guns and all that, because what the fuck they're gonna do? Shoot the cops? Like,
I mean, you had the guys in San Antonio like show up to defend the Alamo, and they were just civilians defending the Alamo with guns.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's one of those things though where it's like where's the line? Where's the it's one of those things where it's like it's not immediately clear if that's at least to me it's not immediately clear if that's.
I don't know where the line is. I don't know if any of us know where the line is right now. I mean, the cop got his taser stolen from him and then is being ostracized for shooting the person that stole his taser from him. And
holy shit! Wait, is that the Atlanta thing?
Yeah, I mean,
really.
I don't know what to say about that. I'm not gonna put my personal opinion out on the situation right now because I haven't seen the video, to be completely honest with everyone. But I also think that cops are being super looked at right now for doing their jobs.
Yeah, it's a crazy ass time right now. I'm pretty sure we've mentioned this a couple of times on the fucking podcast we got up, but I didn't even fucking introduce this is the first time on this podcast. I almost hit the Chappelle ghost. I'm fucking tired, man. What time is it? Like fucking.
It's 2:40, 2:45.
2:45 in the fucking morning. Yeah.
Oh,
Chef Tactical.
2:45.
Chef Tactical is repping it up here. And of course we have Liquid in the motherfucking room. But I don't know, man. We're living in some fucking weird ass times, dude.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's the biggest thing is we are just living times.
yeah, there's fucking protests all over the country. It's which I didn't fucking see coming at all. Because I mean, this police brutality shit ain't new. I don't see what made it, pop off like it is. Maybe because we've been in the fucking in quarantine in our fucking homes and people losing their jobs.
I think that this one was a little bit different because everyone was around it. Like everyone could see. Was the biggest point of the entire thing was like there were two people videotaping it and there were four other officers around and we all honestly see like and we all agree that what he did was wrong.
Yeah.
Like putting your knee on the back of someone's neck is wrong. I mean, in the military you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like they don't train us like that in the military. So we're trained to go on the back side of your shoulder blades. So what was this guy doing putting his knee on the back of someone's neck?
Yeah. While other people were already holding him down at that.
Yeah. Well, I think it was just him holding him down in the video.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
But,
I think it was
and
other.
then why wasn't someone standing up and saying like, even in the military, like if we were doing something wrong, we always had a brother or a sister to tell us, fix yourself. Like,
yeah.
Why wasn't one of those other three officers saying fix yourself?
Yeah.
Or stopping them from doing it? I mean, that was my biggest point of the entire video because you honestly can see in a situation that the situation's not the best. Now, I'm not saying the guy on the ground was the greatest dude in the world either.
Yeah.
Like, he might not be the best person in the world, but to kill somebody over a check or whatever you want to say, I mean, I don't agree with that, and I don't think the rest of the country agrees with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous, man.
I also don't think it should ostracize the rest of the police officers in the U.S.
Yeah. I gotta say though, as somebody who likes to look at each individual, scenario and try to judge it based on what I see. Like man, like I've been a lot of the times is shit is kind of ambiguous. There's like not enough footage to really know how the situation went down in this one, and a couple of others. It's pretty clear that the cops were doing wrong, but now that these protests are happening, like I'm seeing a whole bunch of shit that I'm like, okay, that's fucked up. Why the fuck?
Why the fuck? Slamming an old dude into the ground.
Yeah, like pushing old guys on the ground, like shooting motherfuckers in the face with rubber bullets who are just standing there, like shooting tear gas at people's heads. Like I'm like, what? But the worst part of all that shit is just to see the other cops standing by, not saying, "Hey, what you're doing is wrong. That's not what we're supposed to be doing."
I think it's just that one guy that's doing it. It's not the entire force that's doing it. It's the one guy that's doing it. And you've also seen cops arresting each other in the streets too.
Really?
I don't know if you've seen those videos where the guy slams the civilian in the middle of the street, and then the female cop cuffs him.
I heard about that one.
In the middle of the street. And there's been like a couple of those videos coming out like, okay, well now we're gonna start like policing each other, and I think that's part of the issue. I mean, I don't know, like Liquid, do you agree with me that there are some like police officers that come out of like high school saying, they want to be a cop because they got picked on.
Yeah.
So now I get to be the enforcer, and I feel like there's enough of those people out there, like, or like the brute force guy that came out of school that was the high school football player that never amounted to anything, but now he's a cop. Like,
yeah,
now like I have the power, and I'm gonna treat it like I'm the man. Like that's not what a police officer is.
No, I mean it's not. It really isn't. But at the same time, that plagues every workforce, every industry.
Yeah,
it plagues everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just cops. Fortunately, the view is on cops right now.
And most of the time.
And most of the time it is. But the thing is, it does plague. There was a warehouse guy who's that way.
Yeah.
There is a waiter who feels like he's like the best.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these things. It plagues other industries.
Yeah.
And just at this time, it feels like the cops are the ones that are seeing it. People are seeing it more.
Well, you got a gun on your hip.
Yeah, you
That,
got
that is also true.
Yeah, you got a lot more power.
There's a lot more power.
You can
But
punch
the
that
same thing
warehouse guy in
happens.
the face. You can't.
Same
do
thing
that to a
happens in the
cop.
military, though.
Yeah.
Those guys are that way.
Yeah.
It comes with all forces.
You know, say in the military, we treat it a little bit differently. We take care of our own problems.
For sure, it's all internal, but that's the thing. That's the issue. There's no internal.
There's the media.
There's no internal insight within the industry, I guess. I really can't speak on it because I don't have no real experience. Although, like, I have
you have a huge opinion on it, and you have a lot of family that's
for sure. But at the same time, it's like it isn't the right time for us to be voicing our opinions on what we feel.
Why you say that?
Because it's just because to some degree, I'm just gonna sound like a joke, but there is like a pseudo psyops going against this. Because if you're not utterly opposed to cops right now,
Mm-hmm.
you're for some reason you're a racist.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not saying this is in general, but right now,
Are you saying on this issue, or are you saying as a whole?
As a whole, right? As
right
of
now.
right now, as a whole, if you believe the cops in any which way.
Oh, if you're like backing the cops,
any which way.
Or you back Donald. If you back the cops, you back Donald Trump.
Yeah, or some. Yeah, you know, there's a whole bunch of like workarounds. Like, oh, you know what? You know, you sneeze a funny way, so you must be a racist. You know, that it's not the same, but it's equivalent to that right now.
Yeah, I get you.
To the degree where it's like any kind of faltering, like, opinion that is not with the general consensus as of right now, you are somehow or some completely racist and utterly wrong and a fool.
It's not like you're sitting in a room with 3 different colors and like just talking about an issue.
Right. I mean, you have an opinion.
You would all be racist if you said something like
different.
You were back in the cops.
Right. You have an opinion, but you're not right. You don't have the right to your opinion right now.
I get you.
You know,
it's like a loaded statement.
Yeah, for sure. It's super counterintuitive to what the movement is, but the movement as of right now seems like it's being controlled by the general mass, and the general mass considers anything cop related to be racist or wrong.
Yeah,
I would say let me let you.
There's a lot of people out there who say, "Oh, you can see that that's wrong, and you can see that, you know, blah 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 blah." But you know, the cops, you know, not all cops are bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can agree with all the statements, but with agreeing with all statements, you're apparently the issue. You apparently fall with the issue, and you're also a bigot and all these things.
Yeah.
Well, didn't the cops the other day go take a knee at City Hall with the rest of the protesters? I mean, did they not?
They do that. Yeah. They do that, but the thing is,
City Hall? I mean,
you don't even see that. That's not.
Yeah, that was on the media. They didn't throw that shit on the news.
You only see.
But the thing is, I mean, they will do that, and then some wisecracks will start throwing stuff at them, and like anybody else would, they get up, and they go, okay, this crowd has become hostile. We have to treat it in such a way, and it may be 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
But how are you going to see which one of the 2 or 3 people threw it?
Yeah.
So you have to disperse the crowd and go, okay, this is going to get out of control.
Yeah.
And so they tear gas.
Well, I think that gets us into a bigger issue.
But the thing is,
like, how are you supposed to police yourselves? Like, they're disbanding the Minneapolis Police Department, right?
Oh yeah. I think that's going to end fucking horrible.
That's not going to work. But the thing is, they do stuff like that. The cops do. They make a statement. Like, hey, we're with you. That happens.
Yeah.
And then the original part that what they were doing.
Yeah.
They go, look what they were doing, and look what they were doing 10 minutes later after they took a knee with us. But they totally skip about the idea that this is prior.
The cops went down there to peacefully.
Yeah. Nobody mentions.
Cops went there to protest with.
Nobody mentions the rocks or the bricks or whatever was thrown at them. They conveniently take that out.
Get an impartial story.
Yeah, and then go, but look what they were doing towards us right after. Like, come on. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of people out there who are siding with them.
It's like antagonizing a pit bull, bro. Like
For sure,
you fuck,
yeah.
you fuck
if
with the
you
dog
boop-
enough,
if
and
you
you
boop
bully
the-
the dog enough,
boop the nose, you're gonna get
it's gonna
bit.
bite you.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't holding the cops to the same standard as dogs, man.
No, I'm not.
I know you're not saying that. You're giving a metaphor.
But like in our situation, cops went down to the protest with the people.
Yeah.
Like
And
our cops are willing to protest with the people.
Yeah.
And then the people decided they didn't want to protest with the cops. Like
some assholes in the crowd.
And that's you're black, you're brown, you're blue, and if blue's a race, they'll say like I think that's a weird argument to begin with. I mean, blue's like being green, in my opinion, because I was in the Marine Corps. So like we're all green, like we all treated each other equally. We were one forced to for two. You were fighting with that motherfucker, so
yeah,
I can see a color, you know. So
yeah, because you're depending on them to stay alive.
So I think blue more falls into that blue-green category than it does like the Black Lives Matter category and the Blue Lives Matter category. Like I think they fall more into like the 22 kill category, but I think it's just a bad situation right now that's dividing our country still.
Yeah, I mean,
like we're being forced to divide our country every day. It sucks.
I think that it's just we're going through some shit right now that I want to say normally I would say in the end it might be a good thing because this shit has come to a head. The police brutality issue has been an issue for decades. And Black people have been talking about it and saying, hey, this shit is going on. This shit is fucked up. One example I thought was really obvious is this dude, Eric Garner, I think his name was. He was in New York and a cop like fucking put him in a chokehold while he was on the ground and he fucking killed the guy while he was saying, I can't breathe. And it's so weird to see this is like basically the same damn situation again. I'm kind of surprised that this one just, made everybody get up and say some shit. But I don't know, man. It's to see all this shit going on. It's got me really disappointed in the cops. But like as far as people rioting and looting and shit like that, those people are shitheads. Yeah. Of course, there are just people out there protesting. I don't think there's nothing wrong with protesting and whatnot. That's a great thing. That's your right. You're supposed to do that. Go out there and protest if that's what you feel like doing. But rioters and looters getting into the protester crowds, they're fucking this all up. They're making this shit much fucking worse.
Yeah, that's where your big names need to talk out, like in the community, and like I think it was respectful, like LeBron James coming out and everyone coming out saying, "Hey, everyone needs to stop looting because it's not about that; it's about this person."
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of but it took those celebrities to come out and tell people, "Hey, this is the right thing to do. This is not what you're doing is not the right thing to do." So like societally, was it okay for you to go and loot people's shops? Was it okay for you to go do that? Well, in your mind, it like this was a reason to go break into people's shit. Like that's the big issue I have with this whole protest thing, because you just created a stereotype for yourself.
Yeah, but I mean,
or you lived up to the stereotype that everyone else thought you were already that you were already being.
So okay.
Well, let me say one quick thing though. The issue is that the people protesting, I think, from what I see, the people protesting and the people who are looting and setting shit on fire,
two different groups.
Yeah. But the thing is like they're all in the same crowd. They're how do you can't look at look at a person and know which one is which, and it's like, how do the police go in and get the fucking rioters and motherfuckers throwing Molotov cocktails at people's businesses and versus, some motherfucker who's just standing around while that shit is going on around them and they're just protesting with a sign. It's like, what the fuck? It's a shitty situation for the cops. And I've seen some shit where it's like, okay, why the fuck did the cops do that? Or why is nobody saying shit about the cops? Why are cops not policing each other on XYZ, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like,
why are protesters not policing each other?
yeah, well, see, that's the thing. You got some protesters policing those motherfuckers who are throwing shit because they know they're making them look bad. And you got, like you said, some cops who are standing up and saying, "Hey, you fucking slam this person on the ground. I'm gonna cuff your ass too."
Yeah.
But it's like we got so much information coming to us on social media and on the news, and none of it is ever a fucking complete story. I don't know what the fuck to believe right now.
For sure.
Yeah, but what are
For
you
sure.
about to say?
So 2 points to that.
Yeah.
One, sometimes there's protesters who want to police other protesters,
Yeah.
and they get beat up.
Yeah.
They get beat up for it.
Yeah, they will.
And prone to. I mean, I wouldn't want to get punched and kicked 20 times while I'm on the ground, knocked out by 20 different people. For sure, right?
Shit.
Second,
Mm-hmm.
the counter argument to people saying, when somebody says you shouldn't riot and loot,
Yeah.
here's the counter argument I've seen, is that they try to use the whole Martin Luther King Jr. Quote, where it's whatever, like it's like the silent unheard or whatever.
Oh, the protest, something along the lines of those riots. Riots are, fuck. I wish I just
whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to use that, and they're going, if you have an issue with us looting and stuff, it means you value inanimate objects and property more than a human life.
Yeah, but that's not.
I mean, that's the counter argument that people are trying to put out
Martin
there.
Luther King didn't.
Yeah,
that's not what he meant by that.
Gang members and shit saying that shit
For sure, but like one, we cannot put any value to a dead man's perspective.
Well, and he never gave it. He never gave.
What?
I'm just kidding.
He never gave. That would be more of a Malcolm X thing to say, like Malcolm X, like version of what Martin Luther King had to say.
Yeah,
Malcolm X was more about that riot style, where Martin Luther King was more about that, like
protest and walking.
Yeah, protest walk and
getting bit by dogs and fucking
like,
fire.
Believe, man.
Who did more for the movement, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King?
I think Martin Luther King did.
Yeah, Martin Luther King. I would say definitely for sure that made more of an impact.
The Black Panthers made the community look more volatile, like everyone thought they were anyway.
Yeah.
Right? I say they were, and I'm not trying to be racist. By
No, you're good, bro. You gotta explain shit.
I'm saying why, like, you look at a community and you look at the Black Panthers, and that gave them a reason to say that Black people are violent.
Yeah. Even though that was the Black Panthers was like a self-defense organization, it was really fucking small
but
too.
It gave them like a reason to say that the community was more violent. Hey, they came up with this, or they did with these this, guns. And like I think it's stupid to group the values of a small group of people to the values of the larger group of people, because I think we all know that's wrong. And I think that's the good thing about this movement, is that we're finally seeing that it's not the small group of people that is the larger problem, but they've switched it around to say that. So we're almost doing a reverse psychology on this, where we're going, the small group of police officers are the larger problem, so the police are the problem now.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of saying, hey, maybe it's a small group of each.
Yeah.
Each portion of everything is a problem. I mean, there's a small group of white people that you would call white trash that are problems, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Or I don't know what you would call like the Mexican version of like a small group of people that are the problem.
Wetbacks or something.
Oh God.
I mean, I don't know.
I get what you're saying. The small group of people.
It's a small group of people that form this large perspective on the entire group.
That's the entire internet right now too, though.
Instead of us all just being like,
that is the entire internet, especially Twitter.
There's that picture I was telling you about.
ooh,
Yeah,
right to the butt.
right to the butt.
Yeah,
So like I'm saying, like the whole like maybe we should just all be together, like for once.
yeah.
Let's just all fucking come together and tell everyone to stop.
I just think, man, I think there's some larger powers at play here that are distorting this shit on purpose for some kind of agenda or some kind of power play that we won't know until this shit is over with. Because I've definitely seen a bunch of shit on the news where even with the autonomous zone, nobody's burning shit up in there, nobody's shooting guns, nobody's acting crazy. And there's an article or there's some shit on Fox News where they photoshopped a picture to put a fucking gunman in it. They photoshopped a picture to put. They made some fake shit up. They photoshopped it. Like, what kind of shit is that? Or they made it sound like there are people setting buildings on fire in there. But I look at the video on YouTube of somebody live walking through there. They're just fucking walking dogs and giving away free food and shit. So yeah, I'm thinking there's definitely some more shit at play here. But I gotta say, through all this shit, as a black person, man, it's kind of crazy to see these protests, and it looks like it's mostly white people out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of at first I kind of doubted it, like, okay, is this really about us? What's going on? This is kind of came out the blue. But it's kind of a feel good thing to see that there's so many people out there.
Everyone wants it. Like everyone wants to change.
There's no platform that's going, hey, they should be fucking killing black people. There's no platform out there.
Maybe it's how we get rid of this two-public system, man. Maybe it's how this two-party system.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how we get rid of it. Like this movement might be how we get rid of it, because who gives a fuck what the Democrats or the Republicans think? Like, maybe it just needs to be one perspective of
like what's
just good people.
Yeah, like what's best for the country.
I'm not saying a one-party system, because that would be like communism.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know what you're saying though. Like,
hey, like everyone has their different views. Like, abortion's bad for one side, abortion's good for one side.
Yeah,
women's rights, or women's like not getting to make their decisions.
Yeah,
I think that speaks for itself in one. Like, just saying that out loud. I mean, there's a bunch of guns rights, not having rights. Like, why don't we just get like two intelligent people talking about this instead of two dumbass parties talking about this?
Yeah,
I have to be connected to this, and I have to be connected to this because my private money tells me that if I want to get elected, I have to be connected to this. Like, shit. No one's gonna make my decisions for me. Elect me for president, man. Screw you.
I know, right?
Just
this fucking this weird ass political system that we got.
I'll pay you to say what you want me to say.
Yeah. Hey, if I give you some money, will you say this on the stage, even though you personally don't fucking believe this shit?
Hey, you can pay us to what you say you want us to say on the show. Probably ain't gonna say it, but you can still pay us.
You heard it first, folks. Man, it's just, I don't know,
this is
dude.
Sponsored by the Republican Party ish, and the Democratic Party,
and the Democratic Party, and the Green Party, and whatever fucking Tea Party. Whoever wants to give us money, we'll fucking take it. Man.
We'll take it.
Yeah, but it's.
But we're not going to say what you want us to say.
We're not. We're just going to say what we want to say. Yeah, shit. It's crazy, dude. It's fucking nuts. These are like truly historic times. Like, man. Next, I'm like, the fucking the Pentagon said at the beginning of the year that UFO footage was real. I don't know if you saw it. Well, have you seen? You're in the military. You're a Marine. You seen any aliens? Oh,
I have never seen Alien.
It's illegal ones.
So that nigga staring on my foot.
Staring at one right now.
He's
I
talking
thought
about
this
you,
was
brother.
Yeah, sure. America.
Man, that's.
Wait, is that part of the Man in the Mirror song
Oh,
from Michael Jackson? Man in
oh,
good to the man in the mirror.
you know, in that video, he was pointing to an alien, right?
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Nah, man, it's just crazy. You know, this has been a crazy year so far. You know, we had the Pentagon come out and say, "Hey, that footage of UFOs that we were chasing, that was real shit." We've had this fucking coronavirus fucking shut down the whole fucking planet just about.
It's like
Holy shit, empty streets all over the fucking planet. And then, you know, now we got these protests all over the country, and I'm like, what the fuck is next? Like, the fuck is we gonna have alien ships in the sky or some shit? I'm like, what the fuck is gonna happen next? It's been a crazy year.
It's 2020, baby.
2020, baby. We thought it was 2012 that was gonna get crazy. Nah, M. Night Shyamalan had it wrong. He should have made that movie 2020. It's just, oh no, dude. I wonder how this shit is gonna turn out. Because I've definitely seen some shit this year that made me rethink uh, our sense of community in this country. Because I've always kind of had the mindset that if some bad shit happens, it's gonna bring us all closer together. Like the coronavirus, I thought that was gonna make us all get a little bit closer together. But I mean, it's like it has in some ways, and in some ways, it's shown me that if a motherfucker sees a choice between your life and some toilet paper, they're taking the fucking toilet paper. You know, that toilet paper thing was crazy.
In some people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have this side of the people, and you have people that would actually give their toilet paper away to somebody.
Yeah.
But guess what? You don't see the people that are handing their toilet paper to someone else.
You got a point.
So, like, I am a chef at I work at a grocery store now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say what grocery store I don't want to.
Yeah, of course.
Went from a 5-star restaurant to a grocery store.
But
after this pandemic, but like I personally gave one of my friends that came over to my house toilet paper and disinfectant. Like you don't see that on the news.
Yeah.
You see the lady stealing toilet paper out of someone's shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the guy that went into the store to buy toilet paper and bought like 3 packs of it and then gave it all for free to some people on the fucking street. Like you don't see those stories.
You're right.
You just see the story that someone, because people have
negative
cell
story.
phones and take fucking pictures of people doing bad shit instead of the people doing good shit. So
you know what? You got a damn
how much good stuff was done versus how much bad shit was done. Because the only video I saw was some old ladies fighting about toilet paper and
people fighting over toilet paper.
Like, I never saw like the kids that I saw go into the grocery store, buy the toilet paper, and then walk out the front door and give it to somebody. Like,
yeah. No, you got a damn good point, man. Because you're right. Because just the social media thing can really distort your views. And I gotta say, for me, that shit did distort my view. Seeing people go in the stores and even in person and on video, just go in and buy as much fucking toilet paper as they can. You know, amounts that are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like motherfuckers who aren't gonna be able to who will never have to go to fucking Tom Thumb or Walmart or
and
fucking
some of those
Kroger.
people were doing the right thing and some of them were doing the wrong thing. Some of those guys went in there, bought pallets of toilet paper and took them to homeless facilities and took them to I'm not saying that's the mass majority of people, but there were good people that did that.
People doing good things. You're right. You got a good point, man. Because like seeing that toilet paper thing, seeing people like fight over bottled water and shit, you know, before shit got even before shit even like has gotten to the point where it's like dead people on the streets or some shit. Yeah, it made me lose a little bit of faith in our sense of community here in America. But you got a good point. The good shit doesn't get captured.
It's only the bad shit.
It's only the bad shit. So that can give you a very distorted view of who people are and what people are. Because yeah, like I thought it was gonna be some kumbaya, holding hands type shit going on in the community, but I haven't had my fucking blinds open at one point because I saw the people in Italy like fucking singing to each other and shit all on their balcony, and I was like, hey, let me get ready. We're about to do that shit here in America, and you know it never happened. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I want to sing my fucking songs on the balcony. Who bringing out the guitar and shit? But
We don't have a kumbaya issue.
Nope.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you got a point. Like, there's so much good shit that we don't see, and it's not covered on social media. It's not on the news. You know, that's the one out of every fucking 10 stories is the fucking good thing.
You don't see the cop hugging the little girl a lot.
Yeah, you don't see that shit a lot. It's always the bad shit. I wonder why that is. Is that
you know why it is, bro? Don't lie.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I noticed that
Bad news sells.
Bad news sells, but I'm like, at the same time, man, I always wonder in the back of my head, like, ever since that fucking 2016 election shit with the Russians, and having like accidentally stumbled upon it before it was news, I'm always wondering, like, you know, who the fuck is running the show, you know, that we don't know about? Who's making moves out here and we have no idea that they're making moves? Like when the protests downtown happened and they had fucking pallets of bricks out there, and I worked downtown for years and I ain't never seen no pallets of bricks out there laying around like they had. And no part of the city has those kind of shit bricks. I've walked all over downtown Dallas, you know, for years, just because I didn't have shit else to do. I wasn't the type to pull out my phone and sit down and, you know, just chill.
Yeah.
I just fucking walk everywhere. And to fucking see that pallet of bricks, I'm like, who the fuck is out here making moves like that? Who's doing that, you know? There's just a lot of shit going around us that you know, that we're not in control of. And, you know, I wonder who is in control of it, who is making these moves, who's out here doing shit. You look like you're about to fall down, bro. You good?
I'm just sleepy. That's all it is, really.
Damn, man, y'all sleepy already? It's only like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, I don't know. There's been those bricks out there. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
You said the bricks were a move on the like. There's conflicting stories whether the bricks are from a white hate like a nationalist group.
Mm-hmm.
But then also it could have been people within the BLM wanting to strike up more stories and more news.
I mean,
they try to push it. It was Democrats putting out though.
Could have been the Democrats. It could have been Republicans. It could have been fucking anything. We have no fucking clue, and you know we may never find out. But
as long as we stick together.
As long as we stick together, we'll be okay.
Fist in.
You know?
Fist in.
Damn, you instantly changing my perspectives and shit. I like that though. Because yeah, it really did piss me off to see the way people acted over fucking toilet paper and the way people were treating each other over the mask, no mask thing. How even that got political.
Yeah.
Like if you're wearing a mask, you must be with the Democrats. If you're not wearing a mask, you must be some kind of conservative who believes this is fake news. And when the reality of it is
forced to wear a mask at work.
Oh yeah, and now you're getting forced to wear a mask. You're getting forced to do shit. Can't go to the beach, can't go to the bar, you know. And now companies are shutting down. People are going to lose their jobs. There's going to be some strife and some struggle. Not just in America either, you know, across the whole world. A bit more strife and struggle, I should say.
Strife and struggle.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I guess we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But maybe it'll turn out to be a good thing at the end of the day. Yeah, maybe it'll shine a little light of truth on the way this system works.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but you motherfuckers are sleepy.
Yep.
People listening to the podcast, all three of you are sleepy as well.
3 times 10,000, dude.
Yeah, motherfucker, dream on.
Dream on, dream. Dream comes true. Do.
Hey people, how's it going? I'm recording this second part of the podcast about maybe 2 weeks after the first part you just heard. I originally wasn't gonna release that first part because it was only like 40 minutes long, and I listened to it again. And I was like, I think that was a pretty good little podcast we had there. So you know what? Why throw that away? Why not find some way to retain that, despite the fact that it's only 40 minutes long? I don't even know if people care if it's 40 minutes long. You know, that maybe that's a good thing to them or to everyone. Maybe that's a good thing to some people. But here I am, 2 weeks later. About 2 weeks later, I think. Could be 3. I think it's 2 weeks later. It's the 27th of June. So yeah, man, I can't even remember when we recorded that. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Anyhow, I'm doing a solo one, by myself. And it's kind of crazy. The last maybe 10, 15 minutes, I've been like super fucking nervous to press that start recording button. I'm in my fucking room by myself. And I mean, this recording won't go up until, well, I may put it up today. I may put it up tomorrow, but it's not going out immediately. It's not live. I think it's kind of funny to be nervous while you're in your room by yourself to press a fucking button that will like essentially, pause your message, your voice in time, and save it for later and throw it out there to the world. It's like cashing a fishing line out there. Only instead of a hook, it's just your words. It's an audio bite. And it's just funny to like be sitting down in your room by yourself, nobody else in the house, just you, and to feel your heart going boop 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 boop, like you're fucking going, like you're about to jump out of a plane, like you're about to go skydiving or some shit. I don't know if I'm pretty sure that's not everybody. Not some people just hit the fucking button and they just go off the top of their head, but that ain't me. It's just it's funny to consider that that's a thing, that your body can do that. Your body's like, oh shit, man, you're about to hit the record button, dude. Time to fucking panic. Of course, I wasn't in here panicking or no shit, but it's just funny that you could get nervous over something so small, something so tiny. But I don't know. I guess that's just the way bodies work, or maybe that's just the way my body works. Maybe most people don't have that issue, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Kind of makes me think like 100 years ago, nobody who had like a bit of anxiety would have been thinking, man, it's gonna make me really nervous to fucking talk to a fucking box that records my audio in 100 years. I'm gonna be really worried about that. Is like, what kind of shit are people gonna be nervous about doing in 100 years? Like, what kind of crazy shit is gonna be out there? You know, there's gonna be some kid in his fucking room, or in my case, a grown man, some grown man in his fucking room. He's gonna be like, "Oh man, I'm so nervous about turning on my brain interface to go make this sandwich because I don't know, man, this live audience that's gonna watch my fucking brain interface, you know, or maybe it'll be some different shit. Maybe it'll be some like, I'm gonna make this sandwich, and I'm so nervous about making it because once I put this brain file out there, that people are gonna download into their brains, and feel whatever the fuck I'm feeling. You know, they're gonna be like, oh man, this guy had to piss the whole time he was making this sandwich. Oh God, should I go to the bathroom or should I leave this feeling in so it could be authentic? I don't know. Just it's funny to consider that. What kind of crazy, freaky, weird ass problems are people gonna have in the future? And what kind of shit is gonna disappear? What kind of shit is gonna be lost to time? I don't know. It's just crazy thing to consider. Crazy indeed. But I don't want to get too much in the brain interface shit. I'm pretty sure I've did that on a bunch of fucking podcasts. But then again, I mean, it's something I'm fucking interested in. I think it's something that's interesting. You know, look at fucking social media. I wouldn't have guessed when MySpace came out. I wouldn't have thought like social media would have been the fucking shitstorm that it is today. I I thought I mean, as somebody who's incredibly fucking extroverted, somebody who isn't, you know, out there fucking just communicating with people all the fucking time. I just thought that it was gonna be some shit that brought people together. You know, people from different countries were gonna be able to talk to each other all the time. You know, excluding the language barrier, because obviously there's a language barrier. But you know, I mean, that can still be broken. Hey, konnichiwa, bitches. Oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have said bitches. You know, it's a friendly. Is that's a ain't that? I think that's from a fucking movie. There's some movie where they say konnichiwa, bitches. But I'm not saying. I'm not calling people from. I think that's Japanese. I'm not calling Japanese people bitches by saying konnichiwa, bitches. Maybe I'm too in my fucking head and thinking people are gonna get offended about shit. Konnichiwa, people, and hola, and ni hao. Hey, ni hao Kai Lan. Hey, I learned something from that show. I know how to say hello in Chinese. I'm pretty sure that's Chinese. I don't know how. I don't think I know how to say hello in any other languages. Yeah, Spanish, Chinese, and Japanese. It's funny. I don't know how to say. I don't. I have no fucking idea how to say hello in French. Hello in French. Oh man, this is a random ass fucking tangent. Uh, you know, it reminds me of this time. Like I think it was maybe like 2008 or some shit, and I'll never forget it. It was some random YouTube video. In fact, I want to see if I can fucking find it. But there's this in the comment section. There's one guy who said, I believe he said, "Hello from Finland," in a YouTube video. And I'm actually looking it up right now to see if I can find it. And now I'm getting just fucking Finnish lessons. But yeah, there was a. Damn, man, I really wish that would have stayed around because that was really interesting. But anyhow, there's this one guy in the YouTube comment section of whatever random video I was watching 10 years ago, and 10, 12 years ago, and he said hello from Finland, and then like there's just this long ass fucking stream of people going hello from Spain, hello from India, hello from Colorado, hello from Alabama, hello from Germany, hello from the UK. You know, it's just all these people just saying hello from whatever country they're from. and it went on for a long time. And I mean, it was just there were just so many people saying that, and it was just such a it's a small moment, but I'll never forget that because it was just this moment that the internet made possible, where all these people just come together, all these people just came together, and they're just saying hello, and and it was just I don't know, it was a I mean those weren't exactly the early days of the internet, but it was the early days of the internet that we kind of have now. It was the early days of YouTube, the early days of Google, so to speak. In the grand scheme of things, you're relatively early. But yeah, it was such a crazy thing to see. Just all these people on YouTube from all these different countries, and we're all watching this one video. From all people from all these different parts of the world and different parts of America, and we all landed on this video, and we were all kind enough to say hello to each other, just because one guy said hello from Finland. You know, I'll never forget that. It'd be cool if that guy from Finland heard this podcast. That would blow my mind. That'd be, everything would come full circle in a way. Hello from wherever you're from. I was looking at the analytics of the podcast the other day, and we got one person who was looking at it from Taiwan. So hello Taiwan, and hello Hong Kong too. Uh, Man, really a big hello and a big hug for Hong Kong because man, they're really going through it right now. So yeah, man, yeah, that situation sucks. Uh, but anyhow, support those. I support those guys. I support the Hong Kongers. Uh, so hello from Texas, which is where I'm from. So hello from Texas. This is the most the most random like like fucking podcast ever. But I kind of like doing this. I'm glad I pressed that start button. Uh, it's so weird to I'm talking to myself. I mean, nobody else is in here. I mean, fucking 100 years ago, or shit, not even 100 years ago, fucking 30 years ago, if you're in a room talking to yourself, you're fucking crazy. Now I'm doing it, and it's a podcast. It's a piece of entertainment. It's a piece of information. It's my story out there on the great expanse of the internet, the great plains of the internet, so to speak. Which is, man, it is crazy and it's a little empowering and it feels good at the same time to go out there and put my little sound bite out there. And I'm not expecting anything from it. I'm not expecting, you know, a big hello from Finland kind of moment, but to have other people hear your voice, maybe from another country, just people from different walks of life to hear your message, whatever that may be, to hear your story, to hear about your day, to hear about your life's experiences, or just to learn something about you, even though they may never know who you are in person, or as a person. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat, especially as somebody who doesn't. Uh, I definitely, especially as somebody who has a fucking wall. Most of the time, I got a wall, and by a wall, I mean you're not knowing shit about me. If you if you see me in person, you're not gonna get that much information from me. Not because I'm mean or anything like that. I don't think I'm a mean person. Most people say I'm pretty nice. I'm a pretty nice person. I'm a non-judging person. I can have a good conversation with most people, or I can people can open up to me and I won't judge them. That's most what most of my friends say. Most of the people who meet me say, and I try to be that kind of person. I mean, sometimes I fail. I'm human. I'm only human. I'm deeply flawed. I'm far from perfect. you know, I'm just human. I'm just another guy. I'm just another average Joe out there. But I take pride in that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with being an average Joe. Even though, people make it sound like you gotta be some grand figure, some great leader, that's not everybody. Most people are just, Joe Blows. They're just your average person trying to make it by, trying to make it to tomorrow. And then, that's who I am. And I'm not ashamed of that. I mean, sometimes I do feel ashamed of that. 'Cause, there's so many outside pressures making it seem like you gotta be some grand motherfucker. And also, I've as a child and in school I've excelled. I excelled in my academics. And only in terms of me getting good grades. I never really did anything that I think showed that I went above and beyond. I was just a smart kid, uh, and I had good grades. I paid attention in class. I enjoyed school. So sometimes that puts some pressures on you in life, man. It's a strange ass thing to go to a school and be told, not to develop like nuclear weapons after you get out of college and whatnot, not to go work for defense contractors and make weapons to kill people. I don't know if most people have had the experience of being told that, but to put that kind of pressure on a young mind of, hey, people are going to be out there to, try to get you to make weapons, and not to say that that was specifically said to me and me alone. It was something that was said to the whole class that I was in at the time, but it's just a strange thing to hear. It's a strange thing to be told, don't make the thing that destroys the planet. And I mean, I was in no way fucking capable of doing that. Neither nor am I now, I I when I graduated, I was like at the bottom fucking 10% of my school. I mean, I went to a really good school with really smart people. And also the rankings of how you get your grades or of how you get those rankings is very, to me at least, is very bizarre. Uh, Not to say that the people at the top didn't deserve it. I'm sure they did. Definitely the people at the top were the smartest kids that I knew, at least, that I knew of. I don't know if this the valedictorian or dictorian or whatever the fuck this shit is called. I don't know if the top person was, the smartest person in the school, but yeah, those rankings are weird. The ranking systems are kind of bizarre. And also there's a lot of cheating going on. And because I was in that bottom percentage, I ended up, having to do a lot of shit by myself or a lot of the learning by myself rather than, being able to cheat a lot or rather than being able to, have other people come in and show me, hey, how this is how it's done, this is how you do this is how I came to this answer and blah 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 blah. So by no means was I, some fucking star student, by the time I got in high school. But I was a pretty smart kid. Now I don't know. I'm just an average Joe. I haven't like furthered my knowledge to a point where I feel like I'm specifically, extremely intelligent or above average intelligence. But also intelligence is a thing where it's like, how do you measure that? Because I know a lot of people who didn't excel in school, but they're creative as fuck, and they can come up with some really creative solutions to problems and solve things in ways that I wouldn't have thought of as somebody who did excel in school or did do pretty well in school. So I don't know, like, how do you quantify intelligence? Because I understand we have an education system, we have a IQ test and all that shit, but I mean, people are so diverse You know, there's so many. I think there are different types of intelligences. Like me, I can't navigate for shit. Like if I didn't have fucking Google Maps, I'd be so fucking screwed. I'd be fucking lost all the time. But you know, I've got friends who like they never need a map. They know they could be in any part of the city that we live in, any part of their state, and they know how to get from A to B, you know? And me, I'm not like that at fucking all. Like if one day all the fucking Google Maps shit went out, uh, and there was no Mapsco, there were no map books. You know, if I went outside my state or outside my city, I would be kind of fucked. I'd have to find some fucking tall building, and kind of look around and see some skyscrapers that I fucking know. But I don't know. I think there's different types of intelligences, like your mechanical intelligence, your ability to take things apart and put them back together. I can't do that. I fucking suck at that. You know, I can do some math. I'm pretty good at math. I can, I can be pretty abstract, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of people falling to the wayside when it comes to, you know, observing the intelligences of different kids, of different people. There's a lot of people out there who are just intelligent in ways that we don't know how to quantify yet, I think, or in ways that we don't know how to utilize in our uh, economic or social system in a way where they benefit from it. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are suffering or who are in shitty positions that, you know, they're only there because, well, I shouldn't say only there. They're mostly, for the most part, they're mostly there because the way that this system works, this government, this society. Because I can only speak on American society. I don't know a lot about, you know, I can't speak on Korean society. I don't know enough about it. I can't speak on Chilean society. I can't speak on how they do things in Peru, you know. But yeah, definitely in America, we could be doing a lot better if if our systems in place were better. But you know, also things could be a lot worse. So I don't want to sound like I'm always moping around, complaining about shit. Yeah, things could be a lot worse. Because in some parts of the world, their systems are completely fucked. Like when you're seeing a fucking Libyan slave auction on YouTube, you know something went fucking majorly wrong there. And not to get into politics, you know, maybe, you know, well, fuck it, you know, like, damn, I remember the whole Gaddafi thing, and like not knowing shit about Libya, not even knowing where the fuck it is on a map. Like like most smaller countries, I don't know where they are on a map. I mean, of course, there are obvious ones where I would be able to point out, like Japan, that's an island, North Korea, South Korea, China, Russia. But you know, if I had to find Egypt on the fucking map, I'd be in deep shit. You know, I don't. That's not even. That's not even. I don't even know if Egypt is a particularly small country. Jeez, my fucking geography is all kinds of fucking off. But yeah, I mean, the fucking Gaddafi thing. I don't like. I thought this dude was a bad dude, and then they took the bad guy out, or the bad guy ended up dead. You know, because people killed him, and then it turns out he was bad, but removing him meant all out fucking chaos. Like, what the fuck? This world is fucking weird. Like, okay, this is some bad guy is holding shit in place, and he's doing bad shit that keeps shit from being even worse. Like, how the fuck do you even process that? So there's bad people out there doing bad shit, and somehow that bad shit that they're doing is keeping shit from being even worse. I don't know how to process that. But I don't know, man. This world is fucking weird. It's a bizarre place. Man, I'm going all around the fucking world. I go all around the fucking place. But hey, if I guess if you're listening to this, maybe that's what you came for. Maybe you came to hear the more random shit that I have to say. But damn, this feels good to hop on here by myself and kind of just talk about, random shit. Talk about random stuff. And it's it's kind of surreal to be talking. I'm literally talking to a fucking mic in a room by myself. And I'm kind of like projecting an audience, mentally. I'm making an audience that's out there, an audience that's nice and kind. I mean, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to get. This is going to be on YouTube and Spotify and just out there on the internet in the world. Nobody may ever listen. I may have this shit out here for years, and maybe it has like fucking 3 views the whole time. I don't know. It's just weird though. So weird to be able to put your voice out there into the world and do something that wasn't possible, just 50 years ago. You know, if I wanted to reach somebody in Taiwan, I wouldn't have been able to do that 50 years ago. If I wanted to talk to somebody in China, you know, I wouldn't have been able to do that fucking 50 years ago. I would have had to gone to those places. But now I can do it from my own home. And it's I mean, not to say that'll actually happen, not to say that person who watched the video in Taiwan will come back. Maybe they just clicked on some shit. Maybe they just saw they're looking for Azuzu Rodeo, some other shit that's called Azuzu Rodeo in Texas or some shit, and they just stumbled on this podcast. Maybe they weren't trying to get to this shit at all. Maybe they misclicked and they walked out the room and the fucking podcast played, and they just came back like, what the fuck is this shit? And they clicked it off. They turned it off. I don't know, but it's crazy to imagine that you can potentially have the power to reach these other people out there in the world. And it's kind of, I don't know if everybody gets this. Maybe it's just me and my fucking goofy brain. But I kind of have this like, whoa, people from another country, man. Like, whoa, like how's your life? Like how's your culture? What do you love about the place that you live in? Like, I don't know. I guess I got this fucking kumbaya ass brain. I got a hippie brain. I want to hold hands and shit. Or, well, not actually hold hands. I'm an introvert. Don't touch me. But maybe just a hug, not holding hands. Maybe I'll have a happy hug. Even though I said in a previous podcast, hugs are my like fucking danger zone. Maybe you being from a foreign place is gonna put me at ease somehow. Even though I hate saying from a foreign place, because I mean, there are no real borders. That's all in our heads. That's just in our governments. I mean, we have these structures up to keep us from each other, but there's no real borders. I think in the future, one day we'll as a species, we'll see that there are no borders, that we're all just people. But then once again, hey, maybe that's that kumbaya brain, that hippie brain, that part of me that just wants to believe that everything's gonna be okay. But I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting everything to be okay. I think all people, or I think most people, because I mean there are definitely evil people out there. There's definitely killers and murderers and rapists out there. There are definitely bad people out there for sure. But I think most people in every country just want to get along. They want to have peace. They want to eat. They want to eat food. They want to drink their favorite drink. They want to drink water. They want to eat some ice cream, or they want to eat some whatever the equivalent of ice cream or dessert is in their country. They wanna have fun. They wanna hug their loved ones and be around people. I think that's most people. Most people just want peace, regardless of what country they're in. I think most people just want to be happy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that maybe one day, we'll see these borders for what they are. Just dividers to keep us away from each other. Uh, and maybe there's a time for that, but maybe one day that time will be over, and maybe that time is over now. Maybe this will happen in my lifetime, but I do think that one day these borders will be gone, and we'll be able to rejoice with each other in person or over whatever kind of interface we have to interact with each other across wide distances, and be able to sing a little kumbaya. I don't know. I'm pretty sure people have been thinking that for fucking hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. But keep hope alive. That's what they say. Keep hope alive. So maybe that'll come to pass. Hopefully within my lifetime. That would be nice. That would be awesome. I would love to see a world like that. That would be the coolest thing ever. Just to like everybody's fucking, not everybody's fucking. I mean, well, everybody's probably everybody would probably be doing that too. But I don't know. This is America. Apparently, people like to fuck here. But maybe people will just come together, and everybody will be chill. Everybody will be, of course there will probably always be people who want to fight, who want to, destroy shit, break shit, see pain and chaos. But hopefully the good wins. I mean, looking at the world, it looks like things are definitely getting better than they were, 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, and in some ways things are getting worse. I could kind of see the ties between people eroding here in America. Some of the social structure breaking down, some of the some traditions, and I mean, I'm not one for traditions. I really hate tradition. But yeah, some of the traditions that keep people together are definitely folding and breaking, being destroyed. But yeah, I guess I'm pretty sure there's probably some benefits to tradition, but I don't know. There's a lot of negative tradition too. Like everything else, there's pros and cons. There's good things about things and bad things about things. But I don't know. I would love to see a world where everybody, everybody for the most part is happy. Maybe that'll be some bizarre world where everybody's in their own simulation, which I really don't want that. Excuse me. Oh, I had a little burp there. But no, I really want a world. I really don't want where everybody's tucked away in their own simulation, and everybody's happiness is unique to them. That's to me that's kind of like a type of hell, where everybody's happy but nobody's together. That would suck. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope if there is some kind of simulation where everything's awesome and everything's good, I hope everybody shares that simulation together. But I would also not like it to be a simulation. I'm like, can we do this shit in real life? Let's stop simulating shit, or stop simulating everything. I mean, some things would be cool to simulate. Like, I want to simulate being a fucking uh I don't know what, like fucking Spider-Man. I want to simulate being Spider-Man and like being able to shoot webs from my hands and swinging from fucking tall buildings in Manhattan. That'd be cool if I could simulate that. But I don't want to simulate like everything in life. Like I don't want to simulate my friends. I want to actually be with my friends. Even if it's in a digital space. You know, I don't want, some AI version of my friend. That would suck. Especially if it's so good that it's on par with them being your friend, because you're living in a reality that is not reality. And I don't know. There's something about things being real and being able to know that they are real. Well, I mean, as real as you believe they are. Because, I mean, who's to say we're not in a simulation right now? We could be. But that's a scary thought. I mean, if we're in a simulation right now, man, this simulation kind of sucks. Like, hey, we got to erase some of this bad shit, man. Like, we're playing Rust in some places in the world, and that sucks. And if for those of you who don't know, if there will be people who listen to this who don't know, Rust is a video game where people basically just kill each other all the time. That's Rust in a nutshell to me. I mean, I don't know about the people who've actually played Rust or what their experiences are, but that seems to be the fucking game. It's just this game where you start off in a world with no clothes, and then somebody fucking comes and kills you, and that just happens over and over and over again. So yeah, that's Rust. But anyhow, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll live in a world one day where people just fucking get along. But until then, we gotta live with what we got, and I guess we gotta work on what we got. But I don't know. Uh, Maybe some aliens will come down and save us. Yeah, it's me with the alien fucking spiel again, stick or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm not dropping the fucking aliens thing. I'm like, man, the universe is really fucking big, or we can't be the only thing that's out here. Maybe there's aliens walking amongst us. Maybe they're so intelligent and so far past us that they're walking around among us with like their human puppet skin on, or maybe they fucking genetically modified themselves to appear human, and they're just walking amongst us like making network reality TV shows. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe we're fucking them already. Somebody's out there fucking aliens, and we don't even know it. Oh, I hope that's not the case. Hey, alien. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna act like there's fucking aliens listening to this podcast. Well, if there's aliens listening to the podcast, hello from planet Earth. Oh man, I seriously doubt it though. I seriously doubt that we've come into contact with like aliens or some shit. Uh, I don't know, cause that thing that the U.S. military showed where those Air Force pilots were following that fucking flying aircraft. What was that? What the fuck was that? I don't know. I have no fucking idea what that was. So. Oh shit, I'm tired. I need to sleep more. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that was, and apparently neither do they. Maybe it was some kind of experimental, like military technology that one branch of the military has that another branch doesn't know about. That has to be kept, top secret because it's so advanced. I don't know, but I'm like, I'm like, for to understand or to see a picture of the galaxy, or just to see a picture of all the galaxies that are out there, or just some of the galaxies that are out there, to see how fucking huge this expanse is. It's like, no way we're the only thing out there. It's got to be something else has got to be out there. My thing is, I just hope that other thing is peaceful. I hope that other thing is what we would call kind and considerate. I hope it doesn't look at us and say, "Oh, well, that's some shit we could just step on." But I guess maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll never find out. Man, that seems to be a huge theme of this podcast. Maybe things will go one way, maybe things will go another way. Well, I guess that's fucking common sense. Maybe I should stop saying that. But I'm trying not to say I don't know again. But really, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm no expert at anything, you know. I'm just another fucking dude in this world. I'm just another bro. Uh, but I don't know where the fuck was I going? This shit is like a fucking. It's like this podcast is like hopping on a fucking bus ride. And you think you're going one way, and then the bus driver's like, da 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 da. What? Um, we're going to the ocean, guys. You're like, what the fuck? The ocean? I'm supposed to be on Broadway in 6 and 13 minutes. Sorry, folks. I don't know where I'm going with this shit most of the time. Just randomly, throwing words out there. My random thoughts. And maybe people will find them interesting, maybe not. Maybe I'll stay at three views per podcast. But I mean, I'm okay with that. It's a good feeling to kind of just throw this out there. And like, I know I keep mentioning like people from other countries, but America is so big, it's like multiple countries almost. Like Wyoming is a state out there that I have no idea how the people in Wyoming are. Like, cause there are definitely differences in people between states. Cause people in Texas there's a certain kind of even in Texas itself. Texas is such a big ass state. Like I'm in Dallas, but somebody in like fucking Austin. Well, let's see, not Austin. Somebody in like El Paso is different. The people in the culture in El Paso is slightly different from the culture in Texas, And then I mean, in the slightly different from the culture in Dallas, but and people in Dallas are different from the people in Louisiana, Because you could go to Louisiana. I don't know for people who are from different countries if they understand this, or even from if other Americans understand this. But like, you can go to Louisiana, and you might need a translator because there are some people in Louisiana. They start talking, and you don't know what the fuck they're saying. Like, I mean, my grandma lives in Louisiana, and man, when she talks sometimes it is I really gotta focus. I really have to focus because sometimes I don't. It's so hard to understand what she's saying, and that goes for a lot of Louisiana people, especially older Louisiana people. In certain areas, it's hard to understand what they're saying because they speak differently. Or like maybe someone from Boston, maybe they have a different accent, They speak differently. And it's so neat. It's neat though. I like that. I like the fact that there's these differences. These differences are awesome, which is why I'm so interested in, how are the people in Hong Kong? I've never spoken to someone from Hong Kong before. Not that I know of. I've never spoken to someone from Taiwan before. I have, friends who have family in Taiwan, but I've never met them before. I wonder how people from Germany are. I am descended from people who are from Germany, but that's another topic for another podcast. Uh, but how are people from South Africa? How are the people in North Africa? I don't know. I've never met them before, but I bet they're just really cool people, like people anywhere else in America or Texas or Dallas or anyhow or anywhere. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious about people. I find people interesting. So I don't know. I probably went from one fucking train of thought to another fucking train of thought to another train of thought. But that is this podcast. It's the green room, Uh, And here's how I'll know if my friends listen to my goddamn podcast because of this right here. The green room, you know what the green room is about. And not like not like I'm gonna be like, oh, you're not my friend anymore. You didn't listen to my whole fucking podcast. Cause I mean there's so many fucking podcasts on this Azuzu Rodeo channel that I could not I'm not able to fucking keep up with them because I want to watch the Joe Rogan Experience podcast while I'm playing a game. Then I want to listen to my friend D Saints podcast or Saints podcast. I want to listen to Liquid Tangents. I want to listen to all the Squadcasts. You know, and there's just so much shit out there to consume that it's just it's fucking hard to listen to it all. But you know, but yeah. Anyhow, the green room about. I guess this podcast is going to be about exploring random ideas and thoughts that are in my brain, you know, because I'm green. Uh, so, you know, it's exploring my brain, which is, I'm calling it a room in a way. But also, you know, like in a green room, for those of you who are not familiar, I mean, I'm not even familiar with a green room. I've never been in one before. But, you know, when people are making movies and shit, when people are making digital things or whatever you want to call it, you know, in a green room, you can make anything happen, you know? You can make you can make yourself appear like you're in space. You can make yourself appear like you're on a mountain. You can make yourself appear like you're in a on an alien planet or like in a space that doesn't even exist, you know? You can make anything possible in a green room. So, that's what this is about. It's about exploring that green room, exploring random ideas, I guess. Exploring everything, just going here and there, you know. And sometimes I'm sure it'll get dark. I'll probably go to dark places. I'll go to light places too. I'll go everywhere. Everywhere I can, you know. As long as I'm breathing, I'll go as many places as I can explore. Because I think the mind is an interesting thing. And we have freedom of speech here in America, and I think I'm happy that you know we got freedom of speech. So I'm willing to explore that freedom because not every place in the world allows you the ability to do what I'm doing now. Are there lots of places that afford you that ability? Yeah, but there are lots of places like North Korea where they don't have that freedom. I don't think anybody in North Korea will ever be able to hear this podcast while it's in its current state, which is sad. It's really fucked up there. Um, that sucks. That it's that's unimaginable. Like how horrific shit seems to be over there. But you know, uh, I'm gonna bum myself out thinking about that. But yeah, there's a lot of suffering and a lot of fucked up shit in this world. But I guess I can't linger on that. I gotta keep myself sane, you know. But I at the same time I don't ever want to forget those people who are suffering in the other parts of the world. And I maybe that's one of the reasons I bring up other countries so much. Because I realize I got it really fucking good here. This country's not perfect. No country is. This country definitely has its problems. Which, you know, shit, we were talking about those problems on the first part of this podcast 2 weeks ago. But, you know, I guess I can't forget about those people who don't have the privileges I have. Because, yeah, we got some privileges here, you know. And to briefly touch on one of them, or something I was thinking about earlier today is there's this game that came out, The Last of Us 2, and I love this game. I just beat it yesterday. I won't get into it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I will definitely talk about it on some other Green Room podcast in the future. But yeah, it's an awesome game, and a lot of people are complaining about this game, about certain elements of this game, and they're really angry about it. But at the end of the day, it's a game, and somebody put this out there for you to enjoy. And also I know it's to make a profit, but the artists and the people behind the game who actually make the game, I think they're doing. I think for a lot of them, they're doing something that they love, and they're putting a story out there in the world for you, and for people to bash this thing, this work of art. And I'm not just calling it a work of art because I like it. I think it's a work of art because it's art. It's art. It's art. For people to get so angry about a piece of art shows you how privileged we are as a society. Where that's your problem is a piece of artwork that's out there. That's what you're complaining about. You realize how fucking lucky you are that that's your complaint. There's people in parts of the world like North Korea where their complaint is, damn man, I'm about to get killed. My whole family is about to get killed. My grandparents' generation of my family is about to get killed. My children are about to get killed because somebody in my family decided that they would try to escape North Korea. Or somebody in my family decided that they would try to rise up against the powers, here in the government. And now we're all gonna die. That's a real fucking problem. That's something to be upset about. Rather than wasting your energy and your time going to review bomb a video game, maybe you should be upset about the shit that's going on in North Korea. Maybe you should be upset about the shit that's going on in Hong Kong or somewhere. Those aren't the only places in the world where shit is going wrong. There's shit going wrong in America. Maybe you should be upset about the fact that people are going to fucking prison and jail for smoking a plant or from eating mushrooms or just for having mushrooms. Maybe that's some shit that you should be upset about. But we're so privileged here. I guess we're gonna sit down and complain about shit that don't really matter. But I'm not gonna piss myself off. I'm gonna take myself back to that little happy place and try to relax. But I got a friend coming over. Well, a friend. I could just say I got Saints coming over, and he's about to play The Last of Us, the first one. So I got the game ready for him. I'm like, that's something I do when I'm really passionate about something or I find something that I really like. I try to get all my friends to do that same thing. It probably annoys the shit out of them sometimes, but I don't have negative intentions. It's just, hey, I enjoy this thing. I want you to try it out, so I'm gonna knack the fuck out of you until you try it out. But yeah, so he's gonna be headed over soon, and we're gonna game and enjoy ourselves. So I'm gonna end this podcast here, and hopefully you will enjoy it. Hopefully you all enjoy it. Hopefully also it recorded the time and it didn't fuck up. So I'm gonna cut it off here, but hello from Earth. We're all human beings. Everybody just try to, I mean, not to control you or some shit, but hey, I'd ask you, hopefully, if you would like to try to be nice to somebody today. Try to do something nicer, Not to complain about something that is really minor when you know that there's much greater suffering in the world and that things could be much, much worse, you know. Or hey, if you pray, if you're religious, maybe send a prayer out to somebody else in the world who's suffering. But yeah, I'm gonna. Oh boy, I hope I don't fucking sound self-righteous. But hey, that's what I feel. It is what it is. All right. Adios. Arigato. How do you say goodbye in another language? Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got, folks. I'm out.